everybody, it's Monday the 1st of February and welcome back to school this week. We're going to learn again another story from our Bible for our worship this week. Don't forget we're thinking about the stories in the New Testament and we're thinking about the stories that Jesus told. And today we're going to learn about a story you can find in lots of the Gospels, but also in the Gospel of Luke. You can find it in chapter 9 beginning at verse 12. I wonder, first of all, can you have a guess about what we might be thinking about today? I'll give you a clue. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of people in this story. And I can see Jesus there in the middle talking to them. You know, the story today in our Storyteller Bible is called The Marvellous Picnic. But in the Bible, it's called the story, The Feeding of the 5,000. So let's have a listen to our story today and then we'll have a chat about something to think about at the end. It wasn't long before lots of people wanted to hear Jesus talk about God, and many more wanted for him to make them well. So they followed him everywhere, from town to town, from city to country, and all the way back again. "We need a rest," Jesus said to his friends one day. So they took a little boat trip across the lake, hoping to camp for a while in the hills beyond. But the people were so eager to see Jesus that they raced around the shoreline to meet him on the other side. Jesus was tired, but when he turned and saw the people following him up the hill, he stopped. "They're like sheep without a shepherd," he said to his friends. "They need someone to show them the way." So he sat down there, right there and then, and he started to teach. "God loves you," Jesus said. He knows what's best for you. The most amazing things can happen when you trust in him." Jesus said a lot more than that. In fact, he taught all day, and by then the people were getting really hungry. "Philip," Jesus called to one of his friends, "can you go out and buy some food for all these people?" Philip just laughed. "There are more than 5,000 of them," he said. "It would take 6 months' pay to feed them all." Then Andrew, Peter's brother, spoke up. "There's a boy here, Jesus, who has a little food. He has 5 loaves of bread and a couple of fish. It's not much, but it is a start." And there he is, Jesus with the boy with the 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread. I don't think that's going to be enough to feed all the people though. But it was a kind gesture of the little boy. "So it is," grinned Jesus, and he rubbed his hands together as if he was about to go to work. "Make all the people sit down in groups," he said. "Tell them we're going to have a picnic." Jesus' friends looked at Jesus. They looked at the crowds, and then they looked at the small basket of food. Then they looked at each other and they shrugged. "Okay," they said. "Whatever you say, Jesus." Jesus smiled and he watched them go. Then he bowed his head, he thanked God for the food, and he started breaking it into pieces. The friends returned and began to pass out the pieces. And to their amazement, there was plenty for the first group, and the second group, and the third group, and in fact every group. There was plenty for everyone. There was more than enough food to go around. So much, in fact, that there were 12 baskets full of leftovers to take home. Oh, the people patted their tummies. They struggled to their feet. They wiped the crumbs from their mouths. But all Jesus' friends could do was stare. "It's just as I told you," said Jesus. "God can do the most amazing things. All we have to do is trust in him." Then he smiled at his helpers, he popped a chunk of bread in his mouth and started off for home. You see, Jesus told the people, told his special friends, the disciples, that God can do the most amazing things if you trust in him. So today, maybe have a chat with anybody else in your house, maybe your brothers or sisters or your mums and dads, and have a talk about what happened in that story. Remember what Jesus did before the food started to be given out. He closed his eyes, he put his hands together and he gave thanks to God for the food that was being received. You know, lots of people still do that today. It's called the grace, and they do it before they have their food, maybe their breakfast, dinner and tea. So maybe you do that in your house too. So have a think about the story today. Maybe you'd like to draw a picture. Maybe you'd like to retell the story with your family at home. And I look forward to seeing what you do. Maybe you'd like to put it on Twitter, and I will see you next week for another story. Bye for now.